Right, this is the Kennet and Avon Long Barrow. What Maria said was that this one had stones at the beginning, but the Long Barrow that we're going to visit had wooden entrance. This one has a stone entrance, but I'll just show you a couple of more pictures of this Long Barrow to show you what we're walking on in a minute. But this Long Barrow has caved in rather a lot. But anyway, there's some pictures inside it. There it is there, but I'm going to show you another one. Right, so this is the Kennet and Avon Long Barrow. So what me and Maria are walking on is something that's bigger than this, but unfortunately this long, I mean, you can go in there, you can go up to about here, which I did a video when we went to Avebury. It's on Sun and Moon, it's with my castle one and all that, or in my other ones, but there you go in there and you walk on it, but a lot of this has collapsed now. I'll just show you a few more pictures of it. There you are, there's this one, but unfortunately it's all caved in down here now. And I said the one that we're standing on, which she's saying this is elongated headed people, is much bigger than this one. Right, so what it was is I was just showing you Kennet and Avon Long Barrow, which is here, and then about half a mile away is Silbury Hill, and then a couple of miles in the distance is Avebury, which I'll show you. So there's the pyramid, there's the Long Barrow. So the pyramid was done by one people, the Long Barrow was done with another, and I think according to Maria that the stone circle was, well, I'm not sure, that's a round circle, isn't it? But these things are all different ages. Anyway, I'll just show you a couple of pictures of Avebury. As I said, behind Silbury Hill, a couple of miles away, is Avebury with all these stones. And originally I thought this was a moat up here, this was a moat, and maybe that's what Silbury Hill was, the earth from the moat, but it isn't. That's an electrical arcing, and then they put the stones on this energy in electrical arcing. You can find them all over the world. I wanted to do this as a picture, but just to show you that you walk up to the Long Barrow. There's the Long Barrow, West Kennet and Avon Long Barrow, just here. There's Silbury Hill. Silbury Hill. There's the Kennet and Avon Long Barrow, and then just a few, wrong way, then a few miles away becomes Avebury. Stone circle. So you understand there's a lot of history in this little section here. This is only a few miles away from each other. Just thought that was quite interesting. I might just take it out one. Well, it's taken the pyramid off, but the Kennet and Avon Long Barrow is over here. Silbury Hill is here, and there is Avebury. Anyway, on to the next bit. So let's take this off. This Long Barrow that oh my god, I've got to start just to show you that it's very important. Oh, I know why. Let's start again. I'm going to show you a little bit of history. Potturn is where those old houses are that you're going to see in the video, and somewhere in here is the Long Barrow that we're going to. But just to show you a few things, there's Bath, and we all know the Roman baths are there. You've got this here. Marlborough, where I drove to, is here. And then, just to show you across here, there's Stonehenge. The Long Barrow's here. This is all in Wiltshire, and then you go over to Berkshire, which is over here. I just wanted to show you, even though it's a little bit of distance, look, there's Highclere Castle. Highclere Castle was... They used Highclere Castle to make Downton Abbey. And then I live... Where is it? Hungerford, so we're on a bit. There's Newbury, Thatcham, that's where I live. So there's Highclere Castle. We drove over here, but we did drive quite a long way. There's Stonehenge. Marlborough, there's a pyramid at Marlborough. It's called Merlin's Mound. I didn't take a picture of it today, and they've cut a lot of the trees back. There's Avebury with the stone circle, and then Silbury Hill would be about there. So look at all that history in that bit there. Anyway, on to the Long Barrow that we're visiting today. Yeah, this is who I met today. I've had a few hangouts with Maria Wheatley. But today I met her. She is an archaeologist. She also is a dowser. The dowsing has been in her family, and she discovered in the UK a while ago that there was elongated skulls, just like Brian Forrester did in South America, and they're in the UK. So she's written a book about it. That's her book. She's made games that you can buy. She's written books which you can buy. She goes on talks and tours. Yeah, and obviously she's going to be doing a tour with Brian Forrester, or she was. There you go. Esoteric. Can't say the word. Esoteric. Anyway, these are some of. This is a little bit about her. So these are the elongated headed people. They looked like this. They were different to us. They look very Middle Eastern as far as I can see. But anyway, that's some pictures of them. I'm not sure if this is the same Long Barrow that we went to, but it had trees at one end and trees at the other, and it looked like this, but it was a very big Long Barrow. It's not going to look the same as that, because obviously we're walking on the top of it, and there's a lot of flowers and there's lots of leaves on the trees which aren't here, but this is what it looks like. The heading for this is The Elongated Skulls of Stonehenge and a Forgotten Goddess Cult. Well, it was an elongated queen that was buried there. Anyway, sorry, let's get on with the video. Hey, I'm with Maria Wheatley and what's the other person's name again? Busty. And we're on the way to, where are we going, Maria?
We're going to the largest Long Barrow in northwest Europe. It's on military land, so hopefully we're going to have access today. Because if there's a red flag flying on the military Salisbury Plain, then we have no go. And it's absolutely huge. So if you imagine a really long earthwork, around about 390 feet long, that originally had a chamber area on the inside. And what I discovered in the actual Long Barrow was an elongated skulled woman. She must have been prestigious, a queen or a high priestess, because normally in a Long Barrow it's a communal burial where you would have, for example, 40 people, 50 people, sometimes 100 people buried their deposits. This was just for her, and it's repressed history because it wasn't
blocked really from the public, and you found it, didn't you?
Absolutely. I unearthed it, found out that she had an elongated skull. This is holy history, a history that has been denied us through the powers that be. But this is what we're uncovering today. We're going to go to her Long Barrow. And originally when I discovered the elongated skull people of Stonehenge and elsewhere, around about 4 or 5 years ago now, you could have free access to the Long Barrow as long as the red flag isn't flying like I described earlier. But just recently, access to the Long Barrow has been denied by the military. They've put up a sign saying no entry, slip hazard, and that is a nonsense because there's a huge tourist Long Barrow near Avebury called the West Kennet Long Barrow. It's much smaller than the one we're going to, but numerous tourists stand on West Kennet Long Barrow.
And it's destroying it as well, isn't it?
It does cause an erosion issue, but not only have they denied access to this barrow where there isn't an erosion issue, incidentally, they've put a big meshing around. Now when you put a meshing around earth energies, for example, it acts like a Faraday cage and it's like encasing it, energetically speaking.
Right, so they're cutting the energy out then?
Yes, they're blocking it. That's correct. And another place I noticed this was at the Serapeum near Saqqara in ancient Egypt, where they were putting these massive coffins like for giants, and some people say they're for high technology, other people say they were for the Nephilim. Theories abound, but some of these so-called granite coffins weigh up to 100 tons, and now they're being put in Faraday cages. So what's going on there? Energy being blocked, and this is just the time when we need that earth energy in times of crisis like we're being purported to live in today.
Also, some of us can feel it. Maybe other people can't feel it, but you feel it, don't you?
Yes, I can feel it, and I can douse it with a dowsing rod as well. We can find out the power places by using a dowsing rod. But the energy is so strong, you can feel it within your hands. It's like sometimes it's a tingle, it going hot or it going cold. So there's many different ways to interact with earth energy.
We have a very nice driver. Say hello, Beastie. It's Beastie.
Oh, we're calling Beastie.
Oh, was it?
Busty.
Busty,
Oh,
sorry.
I like Beastie,
Busty.
actually.
Sorry, I remember that now, Busty. So Busty's driving us. Thank you very much, Busty. And with Maria, I first came across Maria on a video when she's actually dousing the stones at Silbury Hill, and there was all these different levels in them, and I was like, what? I found that really strange, because you just think a stone is a stone. And yeah, it was an Australian guy. You remember that then, Maria?
That's right, he's quite a famous Australian guy. He's like the David Icke.
Yeah, you were saying, Maria, about this Australian guy?
Yeah, I was taking him around Avebury, and one thing that I discovered many years ago with electromagnetic sensing equipment used by Rodney Hale, who's helped out numerous earth energy authors, such as myself. And what I wanted to do was douse these energy bands. There's 5 above ground and 2 below. They're like chakras in stone terms, and they give off different electromagnetic frequencies at particular points.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I saw in your video.
That's right, and that's using the electromagnetic sensing equipment. We got the different frequencies of those energies. So it's undeniable. You've got the equipment. Stones give off electromagnetic energy, and they beam it from one stone to another, to another, to another, to another. So that is Wi-Fi. No wires there, but they're communicating on an electromagnetic level. It is truly an amazing thing to experience at places like Avebury and Stonehenge. But we're going to have to park up now because we're
here.
Right on the edge of the Salisbury
No
Plain.
flags up?
No flags. So
Good day to come then,
it's
Maria.
a good day to come. That's out of bounds there. That's military presence over there. But we're going to be walking to the largest long barrow in northwest Europe that housed an elongated queen or high priestess.
Ooh. Thank you very much. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yep, we're here. We're on top of a huge long mound, the longest in northwest Europe. It's 390 feet long, and these are the ditches each side. And those wooden posts that you see have been designed so that the tanks can no longer go over the top of this barrow, because that's what they used to do. They used to use it as tank practice, and now that's all military.
Wow.
They're the tank lanes there for the military, and people have seen UFO activity here. They've seen lights come out of the barrow here. But we've just noticed what I did last week, that fence now says no entry, and they've put all of this wiring down.
Oh, I see. Yes, look.
Which acts like a Faraday cage in terms of earth energy.
So this thing must have been breaking up then. Do you think that's where they've done it?
No, it wasn't breaking up. It had been restored.
Yeah, look, it's everywhere. Look, I didn't realise. It's all over the...
Here, you can't see it because it's overgrown. You're walking on top of the wire meshing, and it kind of raises up here.
Oh my God, it's really long. Whoa, biggest in Europe. Wouldn't you like a big hole to appear so you could jump in?
When we get to roughly about here, this is where the elongated skulls
Oh, they're pretty.
placed. It is pretty. That's beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
And it was about sort of here where she would have originally been interned, and this mound is in her honour. So it's very unusual just to have one burial in this long barrow. And there's more barrows, you can't see them because of the tree line, but more elongated men this time were placed in the barrows over there. So, and then
So what you're saying is, what you said to me in the car was that the military have taken over all these areas.
That's correct. The military, I mean, you only have to look now. That's all no-go area of military, and all over here, heading in that direction, that's all no-go military. You just have one road that you can access through there, and they can turn this off at any time, so it becomes no-go for civilians. And all of these kind of signs down there will tell you no entry, no entry, no entry.
Right. Yeah, not very nice walking on the... Do you think that's all over it, or do you think that's on the, just on the path?
Oh, look, because I pulled that
Oh
off
yes, look. It's over there. Oh,
yeah,
God.
I pulled it off in places to see how far it goes down, and in effect it goes, look, it goes down much longer,
Yes.
all the way to the bottom of the mound.
So around this, so this is a gully. This is a gully going the ditch, and that's a ditch down there.
And that's where they got the material to build this. Originally, this would have been gleaming chalk white amid a lush green landscape, a bit like finishing off of the pyramids in limestone. So it would have been beautiful, absolutely stunning. But what they've done here is absolutely
Weird. Amazing that we can walk on top of it. And you're right, it's much bigger than the Kennet and Avon one.
Yeah, it's much bigger than West Kennet Barrow.
Do you know what? It's really peaceful here.
It is. You've got harebells. They're quite rare.
What, those white flowers?
No, this is called a harebell. It's very delicate, and it's quite a rare form of flower.
Right.
So it attracts lots.
What it is we're actually on top of the Long Barrow. This is the Long Barrow. Maria, you were showing me a book at your house. I was quite surprised that all the stars line up with Silbury, Avebury and all that. Just in a couple of minutes. You explain that. I might have to go back to your house and take a picture of it, put it in.
Yeah, I'll send you some JPEGs. That's right, there's a huge long lay that connects Avebury, Stonehenge, Silbury, the most significant monuments in Wessex, and they're on a ley line that equates to the planets above.
Yeah.
So, for example, you've got Marden, it's a superhenge in between Avebury and Stonehenge. Little is survived of it today. Den is an Old English word for settlement. Mar, the settlement of Mars, Mardenhenge.
Right.
Then I got an astronomer friend of mine to say, how were the ancients calculating this? And he discovered that it's the mean distance of using Silbury for Earth, calculating every single one of those planets are in the heavens above. Using the same system as the ancients did, I could find Uranus, Neptune and Pluto.
And what did you tell me? They were far more advanced than we were.
Absolutely, we've gone backwards. We haven't gone forwards. I mean, you tell me, anyone that doesn't have a computer, how would you know that? How would you know the mean distance of Earth to Mercury?
But people like you are now telling us the truth.
Well, yes, I think it's all repressed, because if we also go to 2745 BC, the so-called heyday of Stonehenge and Avebury fame, then all of those planets lined up in the heavens, mirroring the planets on the line below. So that was their activation day, or if their monuments are much older, then it was a reactivation day. But they knew when that planetary alignment...
Yeah, you were saying, Maria, about her being murdered?
Yeah, I was explaining earlier that the Neolithic queen, who probably had something to do with the construction of Stonehenge because she's unprecedented burial, unfortunately, there must have been some kind of disagreement with another race. They had more rounded skulls, and she was murdered. And then I looked at all of the other barrows surrounding this massive long barrow structure, and they too had been murdered. In fact, one barrow way over there in the heart of the military land, which is definitely a no-go area, at all times. There was a huge mound that had just males in them, and all of the males had been killed. So Stonehenge was their spiritual capital, and I think they fought for it. And I am sure that the long-skulled, the elongated race people, they built Stonehenge, and they also built these massive long barrows.
Well, no one would understand that this was a long barrow. They'd think it was something to do with the military, wouldn't you? It's just a mound to a lot of people.
That's right. So it's a bit. You have to know what you're looking for in terms of ancient monuments.
So how old do you think this mound is?
This mound, Orthodox dating, is 3,800. Very round skulls, and they started to build rounder stone circle monuments. And
which ones are those then?
well, the inner, you see, Avebury's in different phases. It has a Neolithic phase and has a Bronze Age phase, which are 500 years apart. So Avebury wasn't just one design, it was different cultures changing the monument. So for example, pre-2500 BC, you'd have just long barrows in the British Isles, but when the beaker culture came here with the round skulls, they started to build round barrows, and there's no long skull people in this area found in the round barrows, only round skulled people. So we've got round barrows, round skulls, long mounds, long skulls.
Great. I'm glad that you're telling us this. But honestly, this is enormous. Do you think that the Kennet and Avon barrow looked a bit more like this?
Oh, it would have done, because that was restored in the 1950s by Stuart Piggott and Professor Richard Atkinson. And so they made it, the West Kennet long barrow also had megalithic chambers. This had timber chambers. So it was a different style.
How did you find all this stuff out about it then?
Well, it's looking into the archaeological model. It's looking to who has written about it in times like 1666 by antiquarians like John Aubrey. Then in the 1720s, the Reverend William Stukely recorded a lot about the monuments here. So we piece together, like a sleuth, what's going on in the history timeline.
Right. Well done, Maria.
Yeah, no, it's...
This is Maria's find.
Yep, so, yeah, that's right. I mean, I discovered that the Stonehenge people had long skulls, and that's repressed. And we need to emphasise that we are not being fed the truth most of the time.
No.
And that there is a lot going on that needs to be rediscovered.
Yeah. By people like you.
Yeah, so we're now on top of the Barrow again, and we can see a really good view. On a clear day, you could see for miles on this Barrow, but it's such a dark day that...
It's okay, I feel really good up here though.
It is, it's nice.
Maybe when we go down there, we'll just see if we can just see the Barrow a little bit from a distance to show people it is a Barrow. Because to them, we're just on and, you know, they can't see it's a Barrow, can they? Oh, golly. Now I'm going through all the, excuse me, all the thorns. Whew. But you can see that people have walked on here because there's a footpath across the top. These people wouldn't have known what they were walking on.
Like we said earlier, these are the huge deep ditches, so they would have been like a big V. It would have looked very contemporary, this Barrow. And without the trees, and we now know that there wasn't that many trees on the Salisbury Plain.
Oh yeah, it's really weird. The trees are at the end of the Barrow, and they're at the end of the Barrow.
Same as at Avebury, to try and disguise it. And you see that more in the Avebury environs. And yeah, this is about sort of 390 feet long.
How many feet?
390 feet long, and it originally was up to probably much, much higher because, you know, it's been slipped. It's called erosion, and it's had erosion slippage, so it would have been high enough 5,500 years ago.
Place called again?
Potter.
Potham. Got some nice wooden buildings. I mean, they are nice, aren't they? Yeah. Is there any more?
No, but
Oh, they're amazing.
It is. They're well known.
Silbury Hill, we are here with Maria. Oh, he's not coming. But now we're going to walk up to the fence and it's going to get smaller. I'm walking, I'm going to see if it does it. And do you notice when we were driving in and I said, cool, doesn't it look flat? But now we're here, the top of it, it doesn't look that small, that flat at the top.
And it's about 98 feet round. So that's the size of Stonehenge on the top. Well, Stonehenge is 108 feet diameter. That's quite big. It's a beautiful kite up there.
Yeah.
But again, the notice board is completely incorrect because originally Silbury had a huge moat around it, so it was full of water, and it would have had quite.
Silbury Hill. I love Silbury Hill.
Yeah, and that would have been the way to go across the moat to get to.
Yeah, I noticed those. There's almost like electrical. That's like a positive and a negative into it.
Well, that's how you would have entered Silbury Hill, because this would have all been a lake. This would have been a moat.
Yeah.
Water.
Which they needed.
And it would have.
And the steps are there, aren't they? Like into it, are there, aren't they?
Originally, it was a spiral path. They've LiDAR'd that, and it would have been a spiral round it. And it's set beneath yin water that has 7-coiled spiral shape that a water diviner can get. Well, an esoteric water diviner, and it had 7 coils going around in a spiral path. And if you have a look over on that hill there, you can see that lighter patch of grass. Can you?
Yeah.
And that's Wading Hill. That's the quarry from where they got the white chalk to finish it off. They got from there.
Well, they took it off of there, but it doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't look like there's anything missing.
Oh yeah, that's how it goes. A quarry, because don't forget that's thousands and thousands of years old.
So we've left Silbury Hill, and I went back to Maria's house, and she showed me this picture. Now this picture was in the 1950s, and what it is right next to Silbury Hill was a garage. Look, with 3 kind of like Humber cars. Look at this garage, right probably up to the fence. It doesn't look like that now, but what a great picture that is. They took away the garages because they wanted to make it into a, what do you call it, a heritage site. But anyway, that's what Silbury Hill used to look like, with a garage. In fact, she told me there was 2 garages there. Right, well, I finished my lovely day with Maria. I'm going to put a few pictures of us together at the end, but the house you're looking at is a house I used to live in the 90s. I lived there from about 1993 to 2001. And although it doesn't look very big, the house goes back. There's 4 bedrooms and a bathroom in that house. And downstairs there's a living room, a dining room, and then the kitchen is an extension out the back. But this house that I lived in has a double wall on it. So this house, Stone House, was there before the rest. And originally, it's called Charnham Street. So that house is 35 Charnham Street, Hungerford. And Charnham Street used to be its own little town, off of Hungerford. And originally, it used to be in Wiltshire. And Wiltshire's where the stone houses are. So I thought that was very interesting. And then just off from my house is the Bear Hotel. This has a lot of history with King William Orange. King, what was he? The Orange. Oh, can't remember. What was it called? Amy's on the phone with me here. Amy, what was it? King William of Orange.
King William of Orange.
Yeah, King William of Orange. Yeah, he's supposed to have stayed there. So that, I think my house originally belonged to the pub, and out the back was an orchard, but who knows. But that's the Bear Hotel in Hungerford. Anyway, there's a few pictures of me and Maria now. And then this is a couple of pictures of Maria and myself. So this is, we took these back at her house. But anyway, we had a good day and I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Maria, Wheatley and Busty, who drove us there, by the way.